Hi guys, my name is Reza Jaffrey. Today I'm going to teach you a little bit about a question you might have asked once or twice in your life. Before that, I want to tell you a little bit about myself. I went to the University of Illinois here in Chicago. I graduated with a bachelor's in science. I took a gap year and then proceeded to go to medical school. In that gap year, I did something that I love to do, which is travel. I traveled to, or I should say, I backpacked through South America, parts of South America, and it was easily one of the most influential parts of my life, along with my study abroad in Copenhagen, Denmark, where I had the opportunity to visit various parts of Europe as well. And I guess this is a theme in my life. I think one of the most the things that I'm most passionate about is traveling and experiencing new experiences. It allows me to grow more. It allows me to meet people from such a wide spectrum and interact with them that changes me. And that's what I love about it. It allows me to grow further and push me out of my comfort zone. What I'm going to teach you today is a question you might have asked once or twice if you've ever been on a boat, or if you've ever contemplated what you would have to do if you were stuck in an island by yourself. And the question is, where are you going to find water? Why can't, in other words, I drink the water that's all around me or that's in the ocean? Why am I not allowed to drink that salt water? Well, the reason, as I'll explain in a little bit, is behind the way water moves between the environment and your cell or the cells in your body. Okay? So I'm going to teach you a few terms that is integral to the concept of osmosis, as I have listed above. So, as it says right here, osmosis is the movement of water across a membrane. Okay? Now, the way water moves is a function of what the concentration of solutes, in other words, particles, are in the cell and in the environment. So, the first situation is your cell is hypertonic. The second is your cell is hypotonic. So I'm going to briefly define these terms, just so you have an understanding, and then we'll move on to the conceptual idea behind it. Okay? Hypertonic denotes the side that has more solutes. Okay? So the side with more solutes. Hypotonic, inversely, is going to be the side with less solutes. Now, what do I mean by hyper and hypotonic? The first thing you need to understand is that hyper and hypotonic are relationship terms. It's like saying taller or shorter. Just like with taller and shorter, you're always comparing two things. You can't just say Bob is taller. You have to be comparing Bob to someone else. Okay? Bob is taller than John, right? That makes sense. In the same way, when I say the cell is hypertonic, then that means that the cell has more solutes than the environment. Okay? You're always comparing the environment with the cell. Okay? You're always comparing two things. So, if the cell is hypertonic, well, what will happen? Well, if the cell is hypertonic, then I know there are more solutes within the cell. So which way will water move? Well, it's understood that water will always move to the side that has more solutes. In other words, water will always move to the hypertonic side. In this case, the environment is hypotonic. It has less solutes than the cell. So water from the environment is going to rush into the cell. If we drink salt water, the salt water is going to be hypo or hypertonic to our cells. Well, salt water has more solutes, so it's going to be hypertonic. Remember, water always moves to the hypertonic side, and therefore the water from our cells is going to rush out of our cells and into the environment. In other words, all the water that's in our cells is going to rush out of us. And so eventually that will cause death, and therefore you cannot drink water. You can drink water, you just can't drink salt water if you're ever stranded on an island. That's it. That's my Teachback. I hope you enjoyed that. I look forward to speaking to you further. Yeah, thank you.